Hey everybody, welcome to Indie Games Level Up. I'm your host, Phil Lubensky. We're in Vancouver, BC, and I'm right outside the apartment of one of the founders of Switchblade Monkeys Entertainment. Switchblade Monkeys managed to launch their game, Secret Ponchos, on the PS4 with a distributed team working from home. I'm going to talk with them to find out more info about the game and the upcoming PC release.
Secret Ponchos is an online PvP fighting game set in the wild, wild west. Pick a character, set your skills, and jump into a merciless fight to the death. Gain notoriety and upgrades as you win in different types of game modes. The higher the notoriety, the stronger you become, and the more other fighters will want to claim your head. The surprisingly in-depth gameplay and its spaghetti western-inspired art direction really shine through in this title. It's a small game that really punches above its weight. Let's jump to the interview. Hey everybody, I'm sitting here with creative director and founder of Switchblade Monkeys, Yusuf Mapara. Yusuf, thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for interviewing me.
I'll start with the obvious. We're in a home, Tony's home to be quite exact.
We decided to make our own game, and we didn't really have any money to do that, so we kind of thought, well, what if we contribute our skills? But then we had to keep our overheads really low. We couldn't, afford a fancy studio like everybody else, so we just thought, let's just do it from our homes.
It gives us the freedom to work whenever we want, and we work a lot because of that. It's just establishing that the idea that you're working with a team, but you just have to communicate on Skype, and there's awesome programs like Join Me, and taking those elements and just go add that to your flow.
Chris Guillory, our music director, and I, we played a lot of Soul Calibur back in the day, and we'd come over after a week of work on the weekend and just go online and try and increase our rankings. And we played so much that we eventually kind of needed to put on our own music instead of the music that was in the game. So we put on my MP3 player, and I had a bunch of spaghetti western music on there. There was this synergy between the music, like just the spaghetti western, those epic soundtracks, and the fighting, the action. And it felt like no matter what was happening in the action, the music was doing something perfect for it. We both felt that, and we were like, we need to make a spaghetti western fighting game instead of pretending this is one. February 2010 is when I started Switchblade Monkeys. I was just kind of approaching it like I wanted to make something much smaller. I actually wanted to learn how to program so I could make my own game. I thought it was going to be a one-man project. One of my friends, Jose Lopez, our character designer, is like, hey, do you need some help? So he designed some characters. And I looked at these characters and I thought, these are too cool for my little game that I'm making. Like, what if I bring in Jared, or my other friend who does 3D models, or Tony that does this stuff? And it ended up being this really inspiring project that a bunch of high-level people started getting attracted to.
I saw the concept art from Jose and was like blown away by the cool style. I was like, hey man, I want to work on this. So the character development process always starts with a concept art from Jose. We take that and we analyze, what we like most about it, what forms are important for the 3D, to transfer it to 3D, right? Because I'm not creating realism, I'm creating basically an action figure that you can move around and fight with, right? And the more believable it is, the more the players would feel like, oh, this is a really awesome character, I want to use them.
I really clearly remember when we said what we wanted to make. We wanted to make a fighting game. We wanted to make it online, and all these things set off red flags. One of my good friends is a producer, and I remember she said, that's crazy, like you got to make a casual game, you can't, you're targeting a hardcore audience, and they were just all no-nos. I don't think in a AAA studio it would never have got approved to make this game. There's too many risks. The funny thing with Secret Ponchos is we're all very ambitious people, and we always set the high bar a little bit out of our reach, like what we want to do. In the end, if you're making a game that you want to play, it really helps boost the quality of your game, because you're not like, oh, it's good enough because some imaginary demographic might like it, even though I don't like it. This one, it's like, we know that if it's not fun for us, so it pushes us a lot. Because our influences were fighting games, we wanted to make you feel like, first of all, that you're in control of your character's body. Your timing and your reflex is important, so if someone's doing something, shooting an arrow at you and you dive out of the way, it's all real time. All the attacks, they have different ranges, and you want to impose that spacing on your opponent. You want to get right into the edge of your range, attack them and kind of get out, and you want to be aware of what they're doing. And that's kind of why we went with a top-down view, is you could see the exact spacing between you and an opponent.
To me, one of the really cool features about the game is the concept of notoriety, and how the more notoriety you gain, the stronger you become, the more people will want to get your head.
We wanted to make a loss meaningful and a win meaningful, because without the lows, you can't have the thrill, the thrill of victory. We don't want just people just kind of running and gunning and just dying. We want people to play a little bit cautiously and defensively too. So like, if you take out 3 guys without dying, that's way better than if you kill 4 guys and you die 4 times to us.
Do you think that people were a bit tougher on you because you were a small team making a really polished game?
I mean, a lot of times people come up to us and say that they didn't realize our game was made by an indie team. So we take that as a compliment. And it's interesting that when there actually is a lot of content, but we structured the content to run deep instead of wide in terms of scopes. Our game, each character has like over 150 animations. So it's still a lot of content. It's just within one guy. But what that gives you is you feel like you're in control of your guy's body.
Secret Ponchos right now is released on the PlayStation 4, and you guys are planning, well, right now you have an early access on PC. What are some of the differences that we can expect from the PS4 version to the PC version?
Yeah, the PC version, we decided not to do a straight port. We really want people to think the game is a polished experience, and so if instead of doing a straight port, we're going to refine the weaker areas and make sure it's strong, and then put out the PC version. And yeah, we're already really excited. Just some simple stuff like how we do matchmaking. It's a lot stronger. We're hoping to add new content and keep expanding on that. And so it should be like Secret Ponchos Plus, like an enhanced version of it. We're really excited. And then I think when it goes back to PS4, that community will be really excited about those upgrades also.
Thanks, Yusuf, for having me.
No problem. Thanks for coming.
So for more info, everybody, go to www.secretponchos.com.
Indie Games Level Up is produced by Handmade. Handmade creates compelling live action and animation, including video game trailers, commercials, and this web series. To find out more, visit handmadecreative.ca. This episode is sponsored by the Canada Media Fund. Since 2010, they've invested over $50 million in Canadian indie game studios. The Canada Media Fund is proud to help indie games level up, explore innovation and creativity in indie games.